Hey, Gina here with Tarot and Time in Kent, Connecticut. I'm here with the November Tarot and Astrology reading. Now, the first portion is going to be about astrology for the month, broken down week by week. And timestamp below are the pick-a-pile readings for the tarot readings if you want to skip ahead. Although I highly recommend that you listen because a lot of this will play into the piles also. So we are in Scorpio season. The sun is in the sign of the watery depths, deep emotional sign of Scorpio. We have the planet Venus that rules our relationships, our relationship with ourselves. It rules women. It rules things of beauty, jewelry, wallets, all of that, and really anything of value. Now, and then we have Mercury that's going to be joining in a few days, the planet of communication. Mercury in Scorpio is a very highly psychic placement. And so we know that psychic energy is a little bit more heightened right now as the veil is thin. I talked previously about Halloween on the last month's recording. I will just say that I do notice that on Halloween there's a lot of Uranus energy going on, and Uranus is that planet of anything can happen. It rules large groups of people and it rules friend groups. So it's a really great time to enjoy your friend groups. I would personally just keep out of extremely large crowds. That's my personal feeling when I look at the report. I would plan that things can change quickly because Uranus, things change up very unpredictable. Okay, so go ahead back and listen to that if you'd like more to know about Halloween. We're going to move right into the month of November. So we will be in the sign of Scorpio most of the month, then we'll move into Sagittarius. I love the sign Sagittarius. I am a Sagittarius. November is my birth month. I'm a Sagittarius sun with a Cancer rising and a Gemini moon in the 12th house. Although I do have a lot of planets in Scorpio, so I do call myself an honorary Scorpio. So that being said, this is some of my favorite times of year. So why is it my favorite other than that I was born in this time? Well, Scorpio's intense and it's deep emotion, and it rules sex, it rules our power, it rules our deep feeling, our intuition, it rules the other side. And so I just feel like this is such a powerful time of the year for change. This is a powerful time of year to really take a look at our whole selves and love our whole selves, loving our shadow sides, not being as afraid of it, looking at our fears and getting ready to move through that. We have the help of some eclipses. We had one just the other day on the new moon in Scorpio, and we have another one coming up on the full moon. So there's a lot of change themes. There's a lot of really just kindness of looking at our whole selves and loving even all those imperfect parts, okay? So I want to go ahead week by week and kind of break it down for you what to expect. These will be cut into clips and reposted, so you don't feel that you have to take it all in at once. I will share them little bits by little bits later on also. So we're starting off with the moon in the sign of Aquarius on Halloween into Tuesday. Tuesday being the first All Saints Day, Day of the Dead. Veil is thin. What or who are you feeling? What emotions are coming up? Are you feeling connections to those on the other side? Just play with it and see just pay attention to what you're feeling. The Aquarius moon is going to be conjunct together with the planet Saturn on Wednesday the 2nd. Whenever Saturn's close to the moon, it can tend to cause you to overwork and overdo and push. So there's a need to be aware of that and be gentle to yourself, okay? Paying attention to your dreams because there's a lot of watery energy going on. Now, I want you to use that watery energy, especially as the moon moves into Pisces on the 3rd and the 4th of November, and start to just play in that visualization, that watery, cloudy, creative energy that Pisces, ruled by the planet Neptune, brings. Now, things can get big and foggy. There's some Jupiter energy in there, so it will clear up by on Sunday. It'll be a little bit clearer, okay? I would say choose sexy versus choosing feisty and explosive, okay? Now, I said on Friday, rest up because it's going to be a busy weekend. So when the moon's in the sign, a watery sign like Pisces, and we already have the sun in a water signs need a lot of rest. So take the rest for yourself. Then the moon will move into the sign of Aries for the weekend, and you can move forward more clearly, okay? Now, speaking of the sign of Aries, I want to talk about Mars retrograde. Mars is the planet that rules Aries, okay? So Mars retrograde began on October 30th, and it's going to run through January 12th. Last time Mars retrograded was in the fall of 2020, so you can start thinking back of what was going on then, how you were feeling then. Mars is the planet of action. It is, in astrology, it's considered, it's associated with this, it's written as a symbol for male. It's associated with the god of war. It's associated with our motivation, our get up and go, kind of our work ethic, so to speak, how we get things done, okay? So there's a lot of hype out there on the internet about Mars retrograde, about not taking action or laying low or not making big decisions. Yes and no. I mean, I'm not going to stop moving forward, but I want to take a look at what's motivating me, right? So maybe those old ways of what motivated you has changed now, especially since the last Mars retrograde in 2020. What's important to you? What do you really want to get done? How much of it is just societal that you're being pushed there, you think, or it's guilt, or you think that you're supposed to have something done by now? So this is a good time to kind of sit with, what is it that I want? Where do I want to use my energy? And how am I motivated? Healthy. Now, I'm not talking about stimulants. I'm not talking about more coffee and you can get anything done. I'm talking about true motivation, what really moves you. And so this is a great period to be looking at that with a gentleness. And so there, in some ways, you could say there's a pause to take a look at what that is. But I'm not saying that you have to be inactive either. So Aries weekend, we know we're heading into a full moon, so get your moon water out. So as we move into week 2 of November, now the full moon is going to be on Tuesday, November 8th, the same day that we vote. Okay, so things are going to be intense. The full moon is going to be in the sign of Taurus, and the full moon in the season of Scorpio, the full moon is always in the sign of Taurus because Taurus is across from Scorpio in the astrology chart. Okay, so Taurus is a Venus sign. It's all about value. Some people call the second house in astrology that Taurus owns as the house of money. I like to think of it as a house of value because there's way more things that are important than just money. Venus has to do with relationships and women. And so that is going to be our full moon on Tuesday the 8th. Now, Tuesday the 8th, the moon is also going to be conjunct together with the planet Uranus. That planet of unpredictable, who the heck knows, anything's possible. So make sure that you give yourself multiple time periods in your day to be able to go vote, just in case things get tripped up that you don't miss it, okay? Because we need you to vote, okay? I was talking recently on social media about how I grew up as a Jehovah's Witness, and we were taught not to vote, that we only voted for God's government. I left being a Jehovah's Witness when I was a teenager, but it took me till my 30s to actually show up and vote. And so now I won't let anything stop me from doing that, including the planet Uranus. So just plan ahead that you'll make it there. So the moon is also going to be trine Pluto, the planet that rules Scorpio. So this is a great time. This is our chance to bring change, okay? So on Wednesday, so on the 8th, that's the full moon and the lunar eclipse, okay? Interesting, intense day for voting. Things are going to be feisty. They always are in a full moon, okay? On Wednesday the 9th, the way the moon is positioned opposite Mercury, be careful with your words. Don't get into fights with people about election stuff, okay? On the 10th is a little bit of a better day to speak up, but then on Friday the 11th, we kind of go back into the, hey, take it easy, lay low, it's too easy to fight, okay? Now, over the weekend of the 12th and 13th, we're going to have what we called a grand water trine. which water signs in general, we know how intuitive they are. The veil is still thin. The moon's going to be in the sign of Cancer, and we have the sun in Scorpio, and we have, I didn't write it down, but we have a lot of water sign planets. So it's going to be emotional, and it's already going to be the full moon. Rest up. Water signs need that rest. And then it's a great time to plan your Thanksgiving menu. Cancer has to do with the kitchen. It has to do with your mother and your grandmother and all of those kind of things. So get grandma's recipes out, plan your menu, enjoy it, enjoy the home, enjoy all the simple things that are associated with Cancer, all those comforting things, okay? So that is the week through the 13th. Now we move into November 14th through November 20th. Now, we still have the grand water trine going on, so emotions are still running high, but creativity is running high also. Take a bath, relax, savor on Monday the 14th. Keep it simple. Have a great meal, especially one prepared at home. Tuesday the 15th, the moon's going to move into Leo, so the energy is going to pick up a little bit. It's going to be opposite Saturn, the planet of restriction, right? Or I was going like this with Saturn. I wrote down, what brought you joy as a kid? Let's think about that, because Leo is the kid and Leo is fun and Saturn is restrictive. So what is it, the things that you wanted to do? Maybe your parent wouldn't let you. Those are the kind of things. I wrote, jump in a pile of leaves, play, have fun. Wednesday the 16th, freedom is the word. How can you get a minute of it? We're going to have planets starting to move into the sign of Sagittarius, okay? Venus is going to move in and Mercury. So what does Sagittarius want? Sagittarius wants freedom, expansion. They don't like being held. Take it from a Sagittarius. So how can you get a minute of freedom, even if it's just a few minutes? Thursday the 17th, the moon will move into Virgo. So it's a great time to just do your chores, clean your house, make your doctor's appointments, take a hike, keep it healthy and fresh, avoid conflict, okay? Thursday the 18th, another great day to get fresh air, create art. By the 19th and 20th, we want to be talking about adventures, fun, play, enjoy spending time with someone you love. Now we move into the week of November 21st through November 27th. We're going to start off the week with the air trine, okay? So there's a lot of air energy. The moon will be in Libra, Saturn will be in Aquarius, Mars is in Gemini. We know that because it's going to be there for 7 months. Don't be afraid to share your wants and desires. Air energy, it's very mental, very verbal, okay? So use it properly. We're going to be heading into the new moon in Sagittarius. So that means that the sun will move into Sagittarius on Tuesday, the 22nd. And I wrote, and so the fun begins, because Sagittarius is always up for an adventure. There's going to be a stellium in Sagittarius, which means 3 or more planets. So we'll have Venus, Mercury, and the sun. So as we move into the new moon on the 23rd, don't forget to put your moon water out. The new moon will be at 5:57 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. It's a really beautiful new moon because it's trine Jupiter and Neptune. So very positive aspects. So the fun can get bigger with Jupiter there. Neptune, yeah, things can get cloudy, but they can also just be really beautiful. It's a good time to think about a trip that you might want to take. If there's maybe you're planning your summer vacation, and nowadays it seems like we have to plan everything way ahead. So maybe you start to plan that trip, because Sagittarius loves a good trip. Maybe you start thinking about classes that you want to take. Sagittarius is related to the student, more in a way of like things you love and all of spiritual matters, right? So maybe you want to take an astrology class, or maybe you want to take some kind of meditation class, something like that. This is a great time to start planning for that, planting the seeds of what you want with this new moon, making your wishes. And I know sometimes the word wishes, like I know it can sound a little cheesy, but really just like the possibilities, allowing them to happen, allowing yourself to bathe in the ideas of what could be, okay? Now, we're Thursday the 24th is Thanksgiving, but please make really clear plans on Thanksgiving, okay? Because the moon is going to be square Neptune, and so Neptune fogs things, and you need a clear plan, especially if you're traveling. There's going to be a lot of room for great conversation with Mercury and Sagittarius. There's a lot of fun, but you definitely want to make sure that your plans are clear. And also, you know, it's always great to have a designated driver. There's the mom and me coming out when there's alcohol involved, but especially this Thanksgiving, because there's such prominent Neptune, please make sure that you plan ahead with that kind of stuff, because Neptune rules fog, it rules drugs and alcohol, and nobody needs any problems. On Friday the 21st, the moon will move into Capricorn on Black Friday. And so, you know, really Capricorn loves traditions. So value your traditions. What are your Black Friday traditions? How can you support a local business? Us local businesses need support, especially on the biggest shopping day of the year. The weekend, the moon will move into Aquarius by Sunday. So enjoy, if you're visiting family, enjoy the memories that you're making, enjoy the traditions that you have. But if you're traveling on Sunday, please give yourself extra time, because the moon will be in Aquarius and it's going to be conjunct Pluto. Anything's possible, and you just want to make sure that you're not inconvenienced. So give yourself time, adaptability, maybe have an alternate route home. Now let's move into, also Jupiter will go direct that week, which it's nice when the planets go direct again, especially since we're in Sagittarius season and Jupiter rules the sign Sagittarius. Okay, so we're moving into the 28th, my birthday week. So the moon will be in Aquarius on Monday the 28th, square Uranus, the planet that rules Aquarius. What changes can you make so you can relax more? Good question. Tuesday the 29th, be direct, but be kind, okay? The Aquarius moon will be conjunct Saturn, square Uranus, be direct but kind. On the 30th, we're gonna have the moon moving into Pisces. This is a good time, if you've been celebrating, you've been out with other people, get some time alone on Wednesday, okay? And maybe Thursday too. Things are not what they seem. The moon is going to be in Pisces, and it's going to be conjunct together with Neptune that rules Pisces. So things are really cloudy, really ethereal. You might think something's one thing and it's really another, okay? But this is a great time for creativity. This is a great time to work on your art projects. Things are going to start to get clearer because the moon's going to move into Aries. So you'll have more clarity for the weekend. I wrote, you can speak now. You can speak up now. It's getting a little bit easier now to speak up. And especially on Sunday the 4th. And so we've kind of moved into December real quick. But the moon will move into Taurus, and a beautiful Taurus Sunday. Taurus loves a great meal. Taurus loves beautiful things. Great day to go shopping, have a nice meal out, or just maybe stay home and enjoy your beautiful home and enjoy the meal that you can make there, okay? So a fabulous month ahead, exciting month ahead. Great opportunity this month to really look at how we're talking to ourselves, how we're treating ourselves, how we're pushing ourselves, and as we move forward towards 2023, which will be a 7-year in numerology, which 7 is related to your spiritual path. 7 is the card of the year, will be the Chariot card, which is about overcoming obstacles and moving forward. So as we finish up this 6th year in numerology, the year of the gift, moving forward, we can really start to look at our emotions as we move through Scorpio season and look into Sagittarius, the bigger picture, our spirituality, connecting bigger, and really start making kind of the blueprint plans for the new year. Okay, so it's a really exciting time. Thank you for listening, and we're going to move over into the cards now. Now, I chose for each pile the Emperor card. And the reason I chose the Emperor is because he's ruled by the planet Mars. And we know Mars is in retrograde. And as much as Mars is about pushing forward, actually, this was pile number 3 that I kind of was the card that came to mind when I was thinking about using the Emperor. And I like it because he's sitting on the planet Mars, yet he's pausing before he makes his move, right? So the Emperor is card number 4 in the tarot deck, and 4 is associated with kind of finalizing plans, kind of pausing before taking great action forward. Okay, so during this Mars retrograde, it's a great time to kind of look at those plans, look at that motivation, right? So we're going to use the Emperor for our piles. So pile number 1 from the Everyday Witch, we have this beautiful Emperor card. Looks like he's got his plans there. And, you know, he's really kind of pondering it. His dog's fast asleep next to him. So this is pile number 1. And again, whatever pile jumps out to you first, that's your pile. Don't overthink it. From this beautiful Mystical Moments tarot deck, that we have the Emperor here. What a very cool version. And then, like I said, pile number 3 here is from the Lightseers. So go ahead, pick your pile, and let's get started. Pile number 1, this lovely Emperor card. Okay, so we're going to talk about the month ahead, what you need to know in general. I'm working with a bunch of different decks here. And then we'll kind of break it down week by week. We'll use a little bit of charms, some astro dice, and we'll see what else comes up. Okay, so let's see what you need to know. Pile number 1. We're starting off with the Ace of Wands. I just love the artwork in this Mystical Moments deck. Okay, so this is a book opening with this beautiful flower sprouting out. And it's the ace or a 1 of fire, of passion, right? We're talking about Mars retrograde, what drives us. And so there's almost like there's something new popping up. Okay, so I'm going to leave that up here. See what's going on in the heart of the matter. We have the 10 of Cups here. Now, interesting because a 10 in numerology is also considered a 1. Okay, so you've got 2 1s so far. So the 10 of Cups, this is often called the happy family card. There's a lot of emotions. There's a lot of beauty. We know we're going into, a holiday season period, and that's coming up in the heart of the matter, this 10 of Cups. Interesting how she's kind of holding like this rolled up paperwork here, some information that's been shared. All right, let's see what's supporting the heart of the matter. We have the Queen of Wands. So she is the Queen of Passion, the Queen of Fire. Definitely talk about motivation. She has a lot of motivation, but I love how she's sitting there almost like she's done a meditation, all these candles around her. And so that basically what I'm getting from that is not everything needs to be action, right? Also inaction, meditation, it accomplishes a lot. Okay. Now let's see what's going on as the foundation card in this reading. We have the 3 of Wands, more fire. 3 is a foundation number. So it's almost like kind of putting out there what it is you want, what changes you want to make. And that's really what we were saying Mars retrograde was great for. Behind the scenes, you've got another 10. You've got the 10 of Wands. So this is coming in right next to the 10 of Cups. Another considered a 1, right? It's packing up. Some things are changing here. This is behind the scenes. And we also have the 6 of Wands, which in some ways he looks like he's got a backpack kind of on also. 6 is our number of the year in 2022. 6 of fire, more fire. So it looks like there's something that's been left behind in the background here. Let's see what we're moving forward into. We have the Page of Swords. Feels a lot like that Ace of Wands with the flower popping up. Almost looks like he's ready to study something new. Maybe this spring, we've got this dandelion here. Maybe you're going to start thinking about a course that you're taking. Remember, I was talking about in the astrology report, there was a day there that said to be thinking about like maybe a class that you want to take. That was on Wednesday, the 23rd of November. So is there something that you're ready to pick up the book and study? Because it's showing that you are. Okay. Now, I seem to get an extra card here. We have the Eight of Cups here, which is another card of like leaving things behind. And this Queen of Wands, I'm not sure, I didn't mean to pull this many cards, but you got an extra one. And it's the Queen of Wands again. This is two versions of her. Okay, and this one's coming up in the future. Oh, that one's coming up in the future. So what I'm getting from that is it's almost like there's something that you're leaving behind. A lot of times the Eight of Cups is, kind of people will be like, why did you leave that? It looks so good. But it wasn't for you. Okay. And with this double Queen of Wands, like she's not going to live a small life. She wants to live a big adventurous life. And she loves to travel also. So maybe this is time, maybe you're starting to look at your career. Maybe you're starting to look at things that you want to study that will give you the freedom to move forward, because I see a lot of moving forward. I think you've already left a lot of things behind that didn't work for you. Maybe right now you're in the thick of it with your family, with the 10 of Cups here in the heart. But this is a great time for you to be planning what you want to do later, even if it's not immediate, but just starting to get an idea of what that is. I'm going to pull a couple oracles here from the Relative Oracle deck. All right, we're getting 3. You've got Spirit card. It's almost like Make-A-Wish card. But Spirit here with you. The Ritual. And Theatrics. Okay. So it's almost like they both almost feel like actors in some way, but dressed apart, right? But there's some ritual here. So maybe you're studying some religious beliefs. Maybe you're studying, I don't know, it kind of just feels like almost like spiritual beliefs. And the theatrics here, maybe there's some kind of class that you want to take. Maybe there's some kind of performance. It kind of reminds me here of this Queen of Wands. Okay, so this is a time here. What I'm getting from this is that even though you have responsibilities that require your attention, there's things that almost like I see you taking baby steps away from things that aren't working for you, moving into what is. And yeah, it might be a little bit dramatic and there might be people who don't agree, but as long as you agree and you know what you want, I can see you moving forward and maybe going back to school or pursuing something to improve what you want to give you freedom, because the Queen of Wands is a Sagittarius queen. She's any fire sign queen, but she, in this case, I'm seeing her as a Sagittarius queen. We're moving into Sagittarius season and Sagittarians want freedom. So there it is. Okay. Now what I want to do is I want to break this down week by week for you. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to leave these here. Actually, I'm going to put them back so we can see if they come up again. And we're going to talk about week by week for the month and see what's important for you to know. And all right, so I've got a bunch of beautiful decks here. This is the Lightseers, this Mystical Moments, which we sell this deck in Kent. And I've also got a bunch of her artwork, and I'm selling posters of that also. I'm really taken with her. All right, so week by week, what do you need to know this big month ahead? All right, so let's see. We have technically 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. We'll pull 2 cards for each week. All right. So many decks here. I want to give you a little taste of each one. And all right. Week 1. Ten of Wands. So you had a lot of tens. And it's almost like she's making it look beautiful. She's playing almost like a harp, but yet there's a burden. There's too much. There's something needs to be put down. Okay, so you've been doing a good job making it look like you're doing it with ease. Also another 10 of Cups. We had this come up in your reading before, the 10 of Cups, the happy family card. So there's something shifting here. Okay, you've been doing great. Something shifting. Savor the moments. Kids are little, savor it, enjoy the connections, and know that something's going to be shifting. Now, week 2, we have the Death card, which shows us that change is coming. Nothing to be afraid of here. We need change. This is Pluto. This is a Scorpio card. And I like how her vision is looking forward. Okay, not so much caught up in what's happening at the moment, looking forward. Here's the Four of Swords, indicating that there is going to be some need for rest, okay? Four of Swords is kind of like a minor version of the Emperor in a way, or at least they're both number 4s. Pausing, right? And so I love how she puts her witch hat up. She hangs her witch hat up and she's taken some slumber. And that's what you need to be thinking about week 2. Things are intense and there's nothing wrong with taking that time. Okay. Week number 3, another 10 of Swords. This is an interesting version of 10 of Swords. So this is a lot of mental stimulation. There's a lot of thoughts going on, and you are definitely going to need that rest. Along with the 6 of Pentacles. So there's a lot of beauty. There's a lot of people wanting and needing things from you. So that's why you have to make sure you take the downtime. And you know what? I only did 4 weeks when I said there's 5. 4th week, we have 7 of Swords. Almost like sneaking off. And the Sun. So if you do have a chance to sneak off on the 4th week, this would be a great time. And the 4th week is the 1, 2, 3. That is Thanksgiving week. So enjoying the fun. Maybe it's a little bit stressful to sneak off, but once you get there, it looks like you'll have a great time. If you're not going anywhere, just do something that brings you joy over Thanksgiving. It does not have to be celebrated the way that everyone else does it, okay? But what is important is that the people that you that you choose to be around are positive influence for you and that you can be yourself. In the final week, we have the Knight of Cups. It's like he's flying back from Thanksgiving, full of love. And the King of Wands. King of Fire, beating, really, what is the expression? Walking to the beat of his own drum. Okay? Don't be afraid to do things differently. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to roll some dice for you. And we'll pull some charms. And what else? I'm going to pull another oracle just so we have some anything else important during this month of November for you. Hearth and Home. Hospitality. And conscientious. Wow, it's so funny. It almost feels like you are the one hosting Thanksgiving. Hearth and Home, hospitality, and conscientious. Okay. So if you're hosting, enjoy it. Know that it's not probably always going to be this way. Sometimes we get like overwhelmed, like, oh, I'm always hosting. It's not always going to be that way. You have a lot of 10s showing us that things are moving, a new pattern is coming in. Okay. Maybe you're going out to eat. Fine. Enjoy the celebration. Okay. And conscientious, just cleaning up there, right? Maybe you get a little help with the cleanup. Okay, interesting. Very like Thanksgiving-ish kind of cards there. All right, so we're going to do some letters. We'll take a picture of this at the end so that you can see. I'm going to pull some charms over here. Oh. one went flying. This is like a Monopoly guy on a horse, right? And Mars, we know we're in Mars retrograde, about Mars wanting to move forward, and we know that we want to take a look at, is that still working for us? Okay. Now, I got the word new. Got a lot of letters here. Okay. I've got new tune. The new tune. I've got the name Pete. I've got the letter Z. I do have the word zoo. And got the word plaid. And then I've got 3 U's and the letter J and I. Okay, so I will leave those there so that you can see what words you can make out of that. But I've got new tune, plaid, Pete, zoo. Okay, and then over here on the calendar, I dropped some of these charms, and all of the charms landed on the 2nd, 3rd, and 4th week. So nothing really in the first week or the last week. We have a dragonfly. You know, dragonflies have that 360 view. We have some dog tags here on election day. We have this little triangle. I've got another horse and a guitar pick on the 10th. We have the letter R on the 15th and this little symbol for like Mary. Okay. On the 16th, we have the number 2 and a pin with this Marvelwood School founded in 1956. There's something here about it's almost like maybe you're going to see some people from school. Maybe you're going to see some women with Mary here, the number 2, relationships. So that's around the 15th and 16th of November. We also have this that says Votes for Women, and that is kind of right in there with that mix. Now on the 24th, on Thanksgiving Day, we have this open book. Okay. And Sagittarius season, there's a lot of Sagittarius energy on Thanksgiving. Sagittarius, I remember my mentor Sheila Height saying that Sagittarius is always going to stick their foot in their mouth. So plan ahead and wear nice socks, right? There's going to be a lot of conversations, kind of like open book energy. Just enjoy the silliness of it. And just plan that not everything that comes out is filtered when you're dealing with Sagittarius, okay? So I'm going to roll some dice for you. And this is for your theme for the month. We've got Neptune in Sagittarius in the 10th house. So Neptune, that foggy, creative, spiritual, healing sign of Neptune. But also keep in mind that Neptune rules drugs and alcohol, right? And we're in a big holiday month. In the sign of Gemini, so there can be some fogginess, maybe in conversation, in our environment. And 10th house has to do with our family, our traditions, our work, right? So maybe there's a time to make sure that you don't say everything that's on your mind. Kind of observe and see when you're dealing with family and any work-related things, okay? So happy month of November. Happy Thanksgiving. I'll see you next month. Pile number 2, this beautiful Emperor card from the Mystical Moments deck. Okay, let's see what you need to know this big month ahead of November. Holiday month, Scorpio season into Sagittarius, and let's see what we've got starting you off. So starting off with the Knight of Wands here from the Relative Tarot deck by Carrie Paris. And the Knight of Wands, he really likes a good time. He likes an adventure. He could be considered a Sagittarius knight. And here he is moving forward. Okay. Let's see what we got going on here. In the heart of the matter, we have the King of Cups. Now, the King of Cups has the wisdom to know where to get involved in emotions and where not to, okay? He's got a nice separation between him and the water, but he's highly intuitive, okay? So you want to pick your conversations, pick your battles. Don't get too caught up in all the water because there's going to be a lot of watery energy this month. Now, supporting the heart, we've got this 7 of Wands. Interesting. The first thing I see is the love tattoo. And 7 is your spiritual path. Wands is fire. And he's kind of breaking free of constraints, okay? But you want to choose wisely where you choose to fight for your freedom, so to speak. The foundation card is the Ace of Cups. So more water. But this is a very satisfying card, okay? And it's an ace, so it's something new way of satisfying, new emotions, okay? Beautiful card to have here on the foundation. I kind of get the impression maybe you're in a new relationship, or maybe you're just feeling more satisfied with your life. Maybe you're showing up at Thanksgiving with a lot to share about what you've been doing. Behind the scenes, we have the Moon card. So the Moon is definitely a very moody card, but very intuitive card, right? And it's coming in, it's going to be placed here next to the King of Cups. Let's not get too caught up in so much of the emotion that it just kind of drowns you. Now, this is kind of coming up in the past, like that's maybe how it's been before. We have the Hierophant here. So you have 2 major arcanas in the background. The Hierophant, such a Sagittarius card. There's so much wisdom here, right? There's so much that's been learned. And so maybe you've learned how to self-care yourself better when you're around family, okay? If you're not around family, maybe you've just learned how to self-care yourself through the period of the holidays where everybody is with their family. And for those of us who aren't, it can be painful. Here's the Sun card, moving into your future position. They're popping some champagne and celebrating. And the 2 of Wands. I love this card. I just love it. It reminds me of that TV show, Third Rock from the Sun, where they used to go up and sit on the roof. 2 is relationship number. Wands is fire, passion. I love how she's holding the world, and then the moon is there shining in the background, right? Or the sun is shining. But anyways, you got the earth, you got the moon, you got the sun, you got all these planets. And so there's a lot of intensity, but there's a lot of joy here. And so whoever it is that you choose to celebrate the holidays with, whoever it is that you choose to spend this month with, it looks like there's a lot of positivity here. It looks like there's a lot of growth. You're learning how to self-care yourself more. There's definitely, if you have met somebody new, I kind of get the impression that there's going to be it's going to be hot and heavy for a bit. I can't say that it's going to stay that way, but you're going to enjoy what it is for now. Okay. Now I'm going to pull a couple more. I want to use the relative oracle here. Let's give you a couple oracle cards for the month. Any themes that are important for you to know this month? Oh, you're getting 4. Okay. Imitation. Invitation. Radiance. And mischief. Okay, so imitation, we want to be our authentic, true selves, right? But we also don't want to go in and argue about who it is that we are. And so this is showing almost wanting to put on a show or put on a costume of who we are. There's an invitation for us to show up. Okay. So if you're not planning to spend it with family, maybe you will have a last minute invite, something being invited in. Radiance. Hey, what a beautiful card. How can you go wrong with that? And Mischief. Love that. So it's almost like kind of what I'm getting is like, don't try to be somebody else by imitating. Show up. You were invited. Come in. Be your radiant self. And even if you bring a little mischief, this feels very Sagittarius like. And it kind of feels fun. And the Knight of Wands up here that we started off with, he feels like a grown version of this mischief, okay? Just be yourself. Be yourself where you're at right now, okay? Now, I want to break it down. I'm going to do 2 cards for each week moving forward, and we have 5 weeks this month. So I'm going to pull quick cards here so we can see what you need to know each week moving ahead. I have so many decks that I'm working with here. So many good ones. Okay, let's see what else you need to know. So for week number 1, we've got the 7 of Swords. This is such an interesting looking card. How she's kind of like, it almost is she's stealing these eggs. 7 of Swords is usually like taking off with something, right? So 7 of Swords, almost like there's like this envious energy here. And the 6 of Wands, the rock star card. So kind of getting the message of like, don't be envious of others. Be your rock star self. Don't keep putting on this imitation mask, right? Be your true self. And maybe it's a little bright for others, but that's too bad. 5 of Pentacles is starting off week number 2. 5, a number of change. Pentacles, anything of value. This is such an interesting card from the mystical moments. Right? So what's changed? What's important to you now? Well, with the 2 of Wands, asking you, where do you want to go? What do you want to do? Who do you want to do it with? Okay, this is a relationship card. So there's something that's changed for you. You're not, what used to work is changing. Week number 3, we have the High Priestess, which is also a 2. I love this one. So this is a very intuitive energy of the High Priestess, very watery energy. We know there's a lot of water energy going on this month. Trusting those feelings. The 8 of Cups, walking away from what doesn't serve you. I love that it looks like she burns something in here and she's walking away from it. Okay, maybe you need 1, 2, 3. Maybe you need some really good clearing techniques as you leave. If you're visiting family, if there's things that don't work for you that you can enter, so you don't energetically take their energy with you. Week number 4, we have the Star. How beautiful is that? This is a card of hope. She's also shining bright. She's a beautiful star. Along with the 9 of Pentacles, there's a lot of great things around you. They're full fruition. It's kind of savoring it, not being able to share about yourself and what you've gone through, what's been going on. This is falling into the week of Thanksgiving. Here are these 2 cards. And I forgot there was 5 weeks. Let me pull 2 more cards here. For week number 5. And we've got the Tower. This is one of my favorite Tower cards because she is the one who broke down that structure. And she doesn't look sorry. And the 3 of Pentacles. Interesting how he's kind of got like a stopwatch. 3 is a foundation number. Pentacles is anything of value. So there's some change coming. The time for something is ending. Okay. So, and this is also showing that things are changing. Things are breaking down. Okay. So, that is your week by week play. I'm going to roll some dice for you for the month here. And you've got Venus in the sign of Cancer in the 1st house. So Venus ruling relationships, ruling love, ruling the relationship with yourself in the sign of Cancer, which is kind of like mom energy, nurturing energy. In the first house, Aries house of I am. It's also your childhood. So maybe this is an intense period where you're visiting with your mother, or maybe this is an intense period where, just either going home and seeing family or dealing with the lack of that. There's something new. There's a new softness coming in here, a new way of approaching this. So I want you to be extra kind to yourself during during Thanksgiving. Okay. Now let's do some letters and some charms. Okay, let's start off with our letters. All right, let's see. What do we got? I've got 2 W's. No, I've got 3 W's. I've got the word wow. And okay, I've got the word hive, Hive. And the word fort, Fort. The word men. And what else do I have? So many W's. Wow. Okay. All right, I'm going to take a picture of this so you can see what you came up with. Got the WY, which is Wyoming. And I've got the word palm and ivy. Okay. Wow, hive, fort, men, palm, ivy. Okay. All right. And over here in the charms, you've got a lot going on week number 2. There's a lot of energy, especially on the 8th and the 10th. You've got a lot of dragonflies and fairies, a lot of action taking place that week. So it looks to me like the 8th, 9th, and 10th are really power days for you. Along with the 18th of November, we've got this royalty and this Monument Valley coin on the 18th. So there's definitely intensity, very magical. Both of these things actually are associated with Monument Valley. And I found this royalty thing in Monument Valley. So it's interesting that landed on the 18th. That was a very magical experience. And so I hope that November 18th is a magical day for you. You also have a lot of activity on Thanksgiving Eve and Thanksgiving Day, okay? So you've got everything from like a blue moon cap to a corkscrew. Definitely looks like there's going to be some celebrating. You've got a little broom here and the sun and a horse moving forward. So there's a lot there. So it looks like to me like really, really consolidated energy, the 8th, 9th, 10th with the 18th looking like a very lucky day for you, and a lot going on between the 23rd and the 24th. Okay. So thanks for joining me. Have a great month. Pile number 3, the Emperor here from the Lightseers Tarot, one of my favorite emperors. Okay, let's see what you need to know this month ahead of November. Lots of decks I'm working with. Haven't looked at any of the cards yet. You're starting off with the 6 of Swords. Now, 6 is the number of the year for 2022. So this is actively moving forward. Okay, Swords is air energy. It's the mind. There's thoughts here. You're moving forward from them. Let's see what's going on in the heart of the matter. We have the Karma card. And this is from the Witches Tarot. Karma is the judgment card traditionally. Okay, it's card number 20. 20 is considered a 2 in numerology. This is a card of transformation and change. Now, I love how they're holding hands, they're grouped together. We think about sometimes our family groups and how the word karma is thrown around a lot. That maybe we have chosen our family, or maybe we are reliving out some unfinished business from the past. And so this is the karma card, okay? It's ready to transform. It looks like there's an eclipse happening. We know we have an eclipse happening this month on the full moon on November 8th, okay? So this is coming up in the heart position, a very powerful Scorpio card of karma or judgment, okay? See what's going on supporting the heart of the matter. We have the 9 of Wands. This is a really interesting card to me. This is from Mystical Moments. Interesting how her shirt looks like it's been ripped by this rose, but yet it's been mended. Okay, so there's a lot of times our pains, our old wounds come up when we get into the holidays. You can see that they're mended, but she has to be aware that this is what caused it in the first place. Okay, so be careful. Just because we're related to people doesn't mean they're necessarily good for us. Let's see what our foundation card is. We have the Ace of Wands. So there's something new coming in. Ace of Fire coming in as your foundation card number here, foundation card. And this beautiful butterfly, there's a transformation happening. Yay. See what's going on behind the scenes. We have the moon, which the moon can be very associated with the mother. Very intuitive card, very emotional card. It's coming up in the background. It was being placed right here next to the karma card. Okay, so I definitely, things are intense. We have the judgment card again. So there is a big transformation going on. So I would recommend that you Google search the judgment card in tarot and read about what that means. But it's a very exciting card of transformation and laying old things to rest and freeing yourself. In your future position, we have the 4 of Cups. Interesting how he's staring at the 3 of Cups. 3 of Cups is usually a celebration. There's this new cup being delivered, the cup of satisfaction. It's being brought to you, okay? So you may feel really fixated on how things have been or what needs to change, but change is being delivered to you, and it's in a very satisfying way. Look at this. You got the same card. This is the same card as this in the future position. And I haven't looked at any of these cards, so it's really exciting when we get these doubles like this. So you got doubles of the judgment card and doubles of the 4 of Cups. So this just tells me, this old party scene, these old things that used to satisfy you, that's shifting. She looks bored, right? He looks like he's contemplating things. There's a new cup coming in, and this is fabulous news. So let me see. I'm going to pull a couple more just to see like what that cup, is it related to? Because I'm getting the impression that it's related to like your ideas about your family, your mom, your dad, going home for the holidays. But I want to see if that's true. The 5 of Cups here. So it's definitely something very emotional. Okay. Is this about family? Let's see. Family. Is this about family, or is this about work? Or let's see. The 9 of Cups just fell out. Family, work, anything else? Okay. When I asked if this was about family, I got the Page of Wands, where he's kind of like, it's almost like he's like, hey, or he's almost caught in a way. But then this 9 of Cups fell out. And 9 of Cups, she's dressed up, she's dressed to the nines, and maybe that's not you. Maybe that's not your style. So maybe there's like frustration there, having to deal with family. Maybe it's the kind of situation where it's like, oh, couldn't you have gotten more dressed up or something like that? When I asked if it was about work, we've got the Ace of Pentacles, which shows me that it is about something of value. Okay. It could be about money, or it could just be about like your progression so far in your life. And then when I asked if it was anything else, I got the Hierophant. And this is a Sagittarius card. This is card number 5. So it is about change. but it's also about spirituality and your higher connection. Okay, so this could even be religious, maybe that you're doing things differently. Okay, so that's what I'm getting there. I'm going to roll some dice. Uranus in the second house in the sign of Aquarius. So Uranus rules the sign Aquarius. So you got Uranus, Aquarius, second house. Anything can happen, unpredictable change. Aquarius is very much in the thought pattern, but it also has to do with friend groups, large groups of people, humanitarian efforts, modern, bringing change in. Second house is the house of value. This is Venus's house. It has to do with money and value. And it also, Venus rules women. Okay, so it's just, you're ready for change. You really are. And it's going to come in like this. And sometimes that's a little scary, but you can't stay where it's been. The old ways are no longer serving you. I'm going to pull a couple oracle cards too, just see if there's anything else here that you need to know this month ahead. This is from the Relative Oracle. And let's see what we got. We got 3 cards for you. First one is Pillar. She is the pillar of the family. I'm getting mom vibes from this, all over this. Coward. Maybe you've been afraid to stand up to her. That's changing. Visionary. And visionary is a word I would use to describe Uranus and Aquarius, which you got both of. So this is a time for you to start stepping out, speaking up, and not being controlled any longer. That's what I'm seeing. Okay. I'm going to pull 2 cards for each week of the month in November. We have 5 weeks in November. And so let's see what we've got here for you. I'm working with a lot of decks here, so bear with me one second. 2, 3, 4, 5. Let's see what is important for you to know these upcoming weeks ahead. And we clear these charms off in the last reading. We'll throw some charms for you and some letters. Okay. Week number 1, we have the Page of Cups. Just look at, she's ready for fun. Kind of childlike fun. Along with the 3 of Pentacles, which has to do, it almost looks like a classroom setting, learning. Maybe you're getting out of school on break, or maybe you're just ready for a change here. Week number 2, we have the Fool. Now, the Fool is Aquarius energy, which you did roll. Something new coming in. It's card number 0, so it's a new journey. And here's the 10 of Cups, which 10 in numerology we call a 1. So something's changing here. There's something new. Maybe you're going off on your own. This looks like a family situation where the Fool's taking the leap of faith out there on his own. Week number 3, 10 of Cups again. Happy family card. Along with we've had a lot of 10s in these readings. Along with the 10 of Wands, there's a heavy burden that's ready to be put down. Now, as we move into week 4, which is Thanksgiving, you got the Magician, one of my favorite cards. Scorpio energy. This card is considered to be ruled by Scorpio, the planet Pluto, and also co-ruled by the planet Mars, okay, having to do with the sign Aries. So there's almost like this recreation of self. Anything's possible. This is a card of magic. It's also a card of, the shadow side of it can be tricksters. Okay, so maybe not everything is as it seems, and maybe you need to trust your gut. Along with the 7 of Cups, which is kind of confirming what I was saying, that like things are foggy, things aren't clear. Trust your gut feeling, because it's probably going to be right. That's over the holidays, okay? Then we move into the last week of November, and we have the Justice card, which has to do with relationships, value, choosing yourself, not just doing everything for everyone else. And the 3 of Cups, She's very playful, usually group of women. Hopefully they're nice women. And just kind of gathering together. So really trusting if your relationships are working for you, if the people that you're around are the right people for you. You might, if you're home for the holidays, you might be visiting with old friends, but you do not, remember that this was the other card, so you do not have to fall into those old patterns of who you were, right? And be choosing yourself and being kind to yourself. Okay, I'm going to pull some letters here. And let's see what we got here. I already think I have the word love, but got the word win. And I think I actually have the word winner. I do. I have love winner. I have the word noon. Noon love winner. And what else? 2 U's. V. The word Ron, the name Ron. The initials DFB and 2 U's. Okay, so you see if those mean anything to you. Let's do a few charms over here. This big labradorite fell out. With the word winner and the stone of magic falling out, and Sagittarius is such a lucky sign, lucky season, and Jupiter is going to be going direct. I'd buy a lottery ticket. I really would. I don't buy too many of them, but when this comes up like this, I would say buy one, okay? Now over here, you've got a lot of energy on the 2nd of November, along with the week from Election Day, the full moon, the 8th, the 9th, and the 10th, okay? Looks like a lot of hard work with the hammer here, but a lot of fun too with this guitar. On the 10th, we've got either life is a daring adventure or nothing. Things are pretty quiet the week of the 13th through the 19th. When we get to the 20th, we have the letter N, but it also has H, which feels like New Hampshire. We've got the number 2 along with this little boy and another guitar. Okay, so that's the 20th, 21st, 22nd. And then on the 28th, we have the letter E. Okay, so kind of consolidated dates between 8th, 9th, 10th. A little bit on the 2nd, and then the 20th, 21st, 22nd, with a little bit on the 28th. All right, so buy your lottery ticket. Have a fabulous November. Thanks for joining me.